Let's consider how the sport of basketball debates its GOAT, championships, MVPs, and finals MVPs. In other words, numbers. As such, ranking the 5 best players in NBA history is really much of a debate. Michael Jordan is the GOAT and LeBron is right behind, while the 3 remaining spots are reserved for a collection of 5 guys: Russell, Wilt, Kareem, Magic, and Bird. Granted, a similar approach in deciding hip-hop's GOAT would center on commercial popularity, which, despite serving as the most subjective evidence in the entire GOAT debate, is commonly disregarded as the weakest confirmation of a rapper's legacy, simply because it's measured by 2 factors that aren't considered a reflection of talent: sales and chart performance. Well, I hate to break it to old heads, but not only do numbers matter, they are the only way to answer the question that haunts us all. Who is the greatest rapper of all time? Concretely and definitively. Brad Callas is the researcher and compiler of this top 10 list on the greatest rappers of all time from a commercial perspective. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get to it, shall we? Number 10, P. Diddy. With 9.1 million album sales, 2 number 1 albums, 5 number 1 hits, and 10 number 1 rap songs. If we were ranking the best calendar years a rapper has ever had, it'd be fair to argue that Diddy's 1997 tops the list. I know what you're thinking. No Way Out was Diddy's debut album, only technically because really it was a bad boy compilation project that saw the headliner Puffy outshined by the label stable of superstars like Biggie and The Lox. Number 9, Tupac. With 16.1 million album sales, 3 number 1 albums, 2 number 1 hits, and 2 number 1 rap songs. Pac makes this list largely due to the chart-topping success of his most memorable project, 1996's All Eyes on Me. By the time he got to death row, while he'd already experienced commercial popularity with his most recent album, 1995's Me Against the World, which debuted at number 1 and gave him his first platinum-selling single, Dear Mama. Pac hadn't come close to scratching the surface of his potential as a mainstream superstar. Number 8, Lil Wayne. With 13.9 million album sales, 3 number 1 albums, 3 number 1 hits, and 12 number 1 rap songs. Lil Wayne's ascent into pop music and the mainstream success that comes with it was slow, so much so that over the first 5 years of his post-Hot Boys solo career, there were no signs that he would ever reach the heights of the commercial giant he's become right now. Number 7, Ludacris. With 15.2 million album sales, 4 number 1 albums, 5 number 1 hits, and 6 number 1 rap songs. If you asked any casual hip-hop fan to list the 5 most successful rappers of the 2000s, Ludacris wouldn't be thought of, let alone mentioned. Should he be? Here's where it gets interesting. From 2000 to 2006, Ludacris dropped hits clean, amassing 16 top 10 singles over this period, which places him first in that group. For what it's worth, Ludacris was, over the first half of the 2000s, rap's commercial king. Number 6, 50 Cent. With 20.3 million album sales, 2 number 1 albums, 4 number 1 hits, and 7 number 1 rap songs. Given the magnitude of 50's earth-shattering run from 2003 to 2005, it's hard to believe that he only notched 3 number 1 singles and 5 chart toppers on Billboard's Hot Rap Songs chart. After Get Rich or Die Trying debuted at number 1 on Billboard's Top 200, selling 872,000 copies in its first week to become the fastest selling debut album in rap history. 50 saw his first 2 singles, In the Club and 21 Questions, hit number 1, and his third, Pimp, peak at number 3 on Billboard's Hot 100. Number 5, Kanye West. With 16.3 million album sales, 7 number 1 albums, 4 number 1 hits, and 12 number 1 rap songs. Kanye may not have a single calendar year that rivals the aforementioned MCs, but what he has had is a consistent presence on the charts. In 9 consecutive years from 2004 to 2012, Kanye had at least one song that charted atop either the Billboard Hot 100, Billboard Hot Rap Songs or Billboard Top R&B Hip Hop Songs chart, including a 3-year run, 2007 to 2009, in which he posted 7 #1 singles. Number 4, Nelly, with 21.2 million album sales, 3 #1 albums, 4 #1 hit songs, and 7 #1 rap songs. Nelly's dominance culminated in the summer of 2002 with the release of his second album, Nellyville. With its first 3 singles, Nelly practically created the blueprint for impeccable chart success. Release 1 for the club, Hot and Her, 1 for the ladies, Dilemma, and 1 for the streets, Air Force Ones. He wouldn't have to wait even a year to see his influence take root, as 50 crafted his first 3 singles, In the Club, 21 Questions, and Pimp accordingly. Number 3, Drake, with 12.1 million album sales, 7 #1 albums, 6 #1 hits, and 26 #1 rap songs. On his 2013 𝗬𝗎𝗍 5 a.m. in Toronto, Drake famously rapped, "Most #1s ever, how long did it really take me?" Well, not long. By early 2012, he already set the record for most #1s on Billboard's Hot Rap Songs chart with 11 tracks and the top R&B Hip Hop Songs chart with 10 tracks. Number 2, Jay-Z, with 30.6 million album sales, 11 #1 albums, 4 #1 hits, and 13 #1 rap songs. Jay-Z turned the Annie-backed Hard Knock Life into the biggest hit of his career, helping make his subsequent album, Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, the first of his career to debut at #1 on the Billboard 200, selling over 350,000 copies in its first week. Naturally from there, Jigga became the guy who hasn't wasted a moment to remind us that he's dropped 11 consecutive #1 albums and is only looking up at the Beatles when it comes to the artists with the most #1 albums ever. Number 1, Eminem, with 49.1 million album sales, 9 #1 albums, 5 #1 hits, and 4 #1 rap songs. Eminem's second album, the Marshall Mathers LP, sold 1.7 million copies, making it the fastest selling rap album in history, twice as much as the previous record holder, Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style. Then, 2 years later, his follow-up, The Eminem Show, gave Eminem the 2 highest one-week sales for a solo artist, as it moved a not-too-shabby 1.3 million units. So until another rapper comes close to approaching the commercial heights he reached, Eminem is in a stratosphere of his own. There you have it, a clear-cut ranking of the greatest rappers of all time, all numbers, statistics, and facts to back it up. Click the top right-hand card to go and watch our video on the top 10 greatest producers of all time, and we'll surely see you over there.